Welcome back to another episode of Dice to Pixels. Today we're going to be talking about a few things. PAX West is going on as we are recording and will be continuing as of the weekend when we post this tomorrow morning. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we have some new stuff that we just got today. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of video games that have come out in the last week.
Yeah.
Some of which are actually good.
Yeah. If to all of you Steam friends out there, one, we have a community group on Steam now.
We do.
Dice to Pixels.
Check the comments.
As of about an hour ago.
Yeah. We'll put a link in the description. Feel free to join us. You're all welcome. I won't decline any invites, but Adrian might.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Ones that you've accepted, I will then ban.
And then Sarah will re-accept them.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's convoluted, but you'll get used to it.
Circle of life.
Yep.
Circle of life.
And two, with PAX West happening right now, Steam has an entire section of games that are not only featured at the conference, but also demos that you can play now, games that you can purchase now that are in early access.
There's a sale as part of it, but the big thing, honestly, is the demos.
Yeah.
A lot of games don't seem to really get demos these days, and there are actually a surprising number of demos out right now.
Mm-hmm.
So check them out, because I grabbed at least two of them, and they looked pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first one that kind of caught our eye was a game called World Turtle.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute.
Yeah.
The first thing actually I wanted to talk about was PAX West in general,
Yes.
and how badly they are sucking right now.
And why is that?
Well, so I mentioned this to you too, of course,
Yep.
a little bit earlier, but after the whole coronavirus lockdowns and everything else for like multiple years there, when everybody was canceling conferences, doing them online, everything else, if you go to PAX West right now and you click on streams, all it does is give you 4 links to their various Twitch streams. There's no schedule. There's no nothing. If you search for streams in their schedule, you get 5 total things for the weekend.
Sounds very helpful.
Right. Despite the fact that they're actually live streaming all of the stages, that's not immediately obvious. You have to just guess that that's happening. So,
That's
PAX, get your shit together.
right. Right.
That said, they do actually have a live stream of the various stages. I don't know if they're all live all the time, but you can actually see the stages. So if you go to PAX, 1, 2, and 3
Mm-hmm.
on Twitch, they're broadcasting from the stages. So you can actually watch most of what's on the schedule. You can actually watch. They just don't make that in any way obvious.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
It's crazy. Like, you'd think if you clicked on streams, it would be like, hey, check it out. We're broadcasting all of our stages. No, they're just idiots.
Yeah, it sounds like they expect people to go to the schedule on a different area of their website and then remember which stage to go to. And
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably one of those things that last year or one of the other PAXs, they like explained this carefully and well. And then they were just like, it's okay. People have seen it. It's like, that's not how. Okay, fine.
No.
Yeah. That badly designed.
Yeah.
Really, really stupid. But you can actually see digital content for PAX, and some of it's cool. Very disappointed that they're not doing Acquisitions Incorporated at PAX.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know if it's true, but it has felt like they've been very inconsistent over the last few PAXs, whether or not they've been doing AC Inc.
I think there's a reason for that. Because when I went to AC Inc., because there's a website for it, obviously, or not obviously, if you didn't know that, there's a website for AC Inc. The next stream for AC Inc. is in 5 days and some hours, which means that just after PAX, they're doing one. I don't know if it's the C team or if that's the main crew or what, but I think the trick is they've gotten into the habit of routine, like scheduled streaming. And so they don't necessarily do it at the conferences anymore, which in my opinion is super dumb.
Yeah, because like you figure that would be one of the whole reasons to attend PAX, would you not?
That would be the main reason I would go.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I really think PAX Unplugged has something to offer for board game nerds for sure.
Yep.
And I kind of like going and checking out video games on a floor, but honestly, I've never found that video game conferences are all that interesting. I've been to a couple, just sort of while I was doing other stuff, they were happening and I dropped in. you don't really get to experience much on the floor.
No, and it was one thing that I noticed growing up too. Whenever you get the E3 episode of any given video game magazine,
Yeah.
and it'd be pages upon pages upon pages of screenshots, previews, little write-ups of each game and all that. And it was always a dream when I was younger to attend one of these E3 shows. But now with, all of the technology the way it is right now, and the fact that a lot of these show floor demos you could potentially play at home without having to go to, say, LA.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is like every once in a while you get the developer who puts on the show and they have like a 100-inch OLED display. I'm making shit up. Like
Big
huge TVs, like a whole bunch of stuff, and they have people there like showing off the very best that the game can offer. Sometimes you get that. And then a lot of the times you get like, here's our demo that you can play if you wait an hour and a half in line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I can go and download it on Steam and literally be playing it by the time you're done telling me what it's about. So,
and I don't have to wear pants.
Yeah, I mean, do you have? Well, you definitely don't have to wear pants at PAX. There are other options. I don't know if you have to wear some sort of a bottom though. Probably.
Okay, well, fine. You
I'm
don't
gonna
have to
say
wear
yes.
bottoms at home.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure their security forces would be quick to catch
you. Yeah, we have our own opinions of the PAX enforcers, but we won't get into those here. Suffice to say, we had a bad experience at PAX. So anyways, PAX, I like PAX in general. It's a cool idea. I like the origins of PAX. Super neat.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to say, I feel like video game conferences, at least in my mind, are getting less and less relevant all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed that way even with E3 over the last few years. Like it's getting smaller and smaller. Well, yeah, other than like...
that too.
Even before COVID, it was getting smaller.
The Jeff Keighley, his Summer Games Night, it's like a live stream event that happened at the beginning of June, I believe.
Yeah.
And that to me has become, in essence, the new E3 for like a lot of developers and publishers, but even like a lot of the major ones are doing their own thing now. You'll see Nintendo do their own little private stream. PlayStation does one, at like,
for sure,
bi-monthly intervals or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that was part of the idea with PAX, adding more and more PAXs.
Yeah,
was to allow developers to align with one of them without delaying their launch by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, it's like, well, Steam exists.
Yeah.
Like let's face it, Steam is a year-round video game conference.
Yep.
You can hop on literally today. In preparation for this podcast, I was refreshing the new games, and literally one came out. What was it? An hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
That I went and bought because it was 95 cents. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
And it's super cool. I don't need a game conference. I have Steam.
Yep.
Now, I mean, that's obviously being a little tongue in cheek, but I don't know. I feel like PAX should still have those mega draws, things like, because I would go to watch AC Inc., even if I didn't partake in anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to catch a live stream of PAX, of Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah.
And I guess I wouldn't, because it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I know they have some special guests there.
Oh, for sure.
And that's great. I mean, that'll draw some attention.
And I'm sure there are people watching this right now saying like, you idiot, so-and-so is doing this and it's the coolest thing ever. Fair enough. But that's, I would have to like scour the schedule to find that out. Or perhaps if I follow the right people.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we were saying with Steam, to me, going to a convention like this for a video game convention, it's the only reason why I could see myself going to one is strictly just for like a vacation.
Well, yeah, it's not just about seeing games, right? Like it's the same thing as like there's the atmosphere, there's like the try out new things. Like it's a great way, and also a lot of like game clans and such use it as an excuse for everybody to get together. So I'm not downplaying the idea of a conference, but specifically the way that PAX is handling their digital side this year seems incredibly haphazard and frankly terrible.
Yeah.
So like great that they have cameras on all their stages. That's awesome. But like advertise that. Make it clear.
Yep.
Make it so that I can go to Twitch and see a panel under the video with the full schedule. Like just do something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Instead of just linking me out to your 4 Twitch pages, because that is not helpful
No.
at all.
No.
And I guess fuck me because I didn't buy a ticket and go there. But also,
Well,
too bad.
yeah.
Like me and 99.999% of the world, right? Like,
exactly. And like you can even use BlizzCon as a fantastic example. Like
They're
they have,
fantastic.
they have the digital version of their entire. Like they have a digital ticket, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
So you can still see all of the panels and everything for their con.
and you
like-
even get swag with it, right?
Yeah, you get digital swag and stuff from it. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I think the only reason why I would go to Seattle, Washington,
Wow.
one of the only reasons I would go to Seattle, Washington is probably just to meet Temple, like John.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
that would be really one of the only
You
reasons
heard
I
it.
would go.
Next year he's coming to see it. I mean, hopefully there will come a day when we are doing this as an actual thing that we do for, compensation.
Yeah.
And we'll be at all the PAXs and we'll be like, oh, you should come to PAX because it's the greatest time ever. But as of right now, I don't know.
It's lackluster.
I have never felt the super draw to a PAX without there being like that headline thing, like ACK Inc., because it's such a big deal. And then simultaneously, the fact that I can't even engage with them digitally is kind of like, well, now you're losing the mind share that you otherwise would have had. Like I probably would have watched a bunch of PAX. I'd have it on while I'm working or whatever, and I'd be checking it out, checking in every now and then. As it is, I actually barely knew what was happening. With Chad was like, oh, PAX is this weekend. I was like, oh, right. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
That's not what you want for one of the major conferences.
No.
So
Yeah.
anyways, why don't you two, we're going to have to throw pictures up of these, I guess. Do we want to do this? Do we want to show off dice?
Yeah.
Or do we just want to shout out the thing?
No, let's show off the dice.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
go for it.
Tomorrow we're starting recording our evil campaign, so obviously we had to get new dice.
Yeah, obviously.
That's
obviously.
Yeah.
They even got me new dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
trying to bribe him so he doesn't kill us immediately.
Yeah, obviously.
You're definitely not going to die immediately.
Yay! Robbery worked.
There's a whole prologue that's going to take about like 45 minutes to an hour to run, so I can pretty much guarantee you're not going to die for that.
Sweet.
Okay.
Unless you do. And then, I mean, I can always bring you back.
That's
Well,
not
actually,
ominous.
Since you've mentioned it,
Ooh.
I made a map.
Hey, map.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm dropping a map. Is this upside
Whoa.
right? It is.
Givers.
There we go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That
And
way.
That's
How
it
will
is.
people be able to see this, Adrian?
The map?
Yeah.
Get in a time machine
Okay.
or go near a black hole or other massive gravity source and go forward in time
Yep.
until later this year when we've posted. Oh, you meant Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, join Discord.
Yes. Join our Discord.
I will also actually probably throw it up on our Vero account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
we have a Vero account. Have you heard of Vero? Vero's
Probably not.
Yeah, it's like basically the new Instagram. It's what Instagram was a few years ago.
It's being used a lot for photos right now,
Yeah.
but you can post videos and everything else to
Yeah.
it. It's
It's really neat. You can like
it's not a curated timeline.
no,
which is great because it
yeah.
doesn't hide people that you follow. It actually just shows you people that you follow, which is
and
great.
it keeps like the timeline in order too. So
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
see the 8,000 spam posts all saying the exact same thing. It's a better
Yeah.
experience for
Yeah.
sure. And more importantly for stuff like this, the image, you can upload much larger versions of images, and then when you tap into them, you get a bigger version.
expanded. Yeah.
It's still limited, but way less so than
yeah.
Instagram.
One of the things I really like, because I'm a what was
Con
that?
decided he needed to have an opinion.
I think he's singing some James Brown.
I'm a big reader and I like sharing what I'm reading sometimes. And like
Yeah.
there's sections where you can recommend or say you're reading or watching a TV show or
Yeah.
listening to music or share links. It's really kind of neat.
And I mean, at this point, we're just basically advertising Vero, but their introduction posts are great too.
Yes. Yeah.
You can literally make a special kind of post that's an introduction post, and it links through to the creator's profile.
Yep.
And honestly, they did a great job.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah, and it's nice too because you can people that you follow, or you can decide how public you want your posts to be. So it could be open to everyone, or it could be just your close friends.
That is a mix. That is a double-edged blade, because on the one hand, you have really strong privacy controls over your posts. At the same time, it looks like it defaults always to private. Which means that I think probably there's a good amount of people that are sharing stuff and not realizing that they're only sharing it to like their close friends, which probably doesn't help the platform grow. But anyways, we're going to stop talking about Vero. It's great though. You can find that in probably the description, definitely on our other areas. I'll add the link to our website because I actually haven't yet. So
yeah.
Cool. Vero, I will post some stuff, and we'll post some images of the game, either after we finish it, after we finish filming, we'll throw some up, or possibly we'll even do like some real quick snaps and posts while we're filming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because, we're starting, I don't even remember when we're starting, but we're starting early and going all day.
Fargan day.
It's going to be great.
Hell yeah.
So much D&D after months.
Yeah, and the plan for that, and this is very tentative, this is not a promise in any way, shape, or form, but the ostensible goal is to hopefully have the first episode of this released in the Halloween timeframe.
Yes.
So
Shazam.
Yeah, I think we are far enough along the path that I'm comfortable saying that much. No more information than that yet.
Well, considering that we've just decided to do these, record an episode, edit it, and release it in less than a day.
Yes.
So this is quite a bit of a bigger undertaking, but.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, fortunately not for D&D though.
No.
That we're going to take a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to make it nice.
And we're going to do recaps for not for the first episode, obviously, but for subsequent episodes, which is great. Yeah. So how do you want to show people these dice? Are we just going to take pictures, or
we can take pictures?
We can hold them up and then
all right, well,
take
talk about what you've got. Sarah, you go first.
Okay.
Well, so on our way over here today, Sarah and I decided to stop in at Dragonheart Dice.
Dragonheart Designs.
Dragonheart Designs.
Get it right, sir.
You're canceled.
Yep.
Just you though.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay, yeah. So anyways, we're going to put their links in the description.
Yeah. So they're dice and, like RPG retailer.
I was going to say dice and other RPG accessories.
That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. I found them randomly through Instagram one time and started following them. They're local to Kitchener, and they have some really nice stuffs on there.
They do, yeah. I don't know. I don't think they make any of it themselves. I think it is a resale, but they find cool stuff and bring it in. They
got a lot of Chessex stuff. They got a lot of mini dice. They have micro dice too.
Yeah, those are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which to people in the US might not sound all that interesting because you can get anything anywhere in the US. But here in Canada, in the frozen north, we can't get anything. So anytime there's a shop that will bring stuff in en masse and then resell it, that's actually kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So
we can get a lot of snow though.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah.
We can get a lot of water, but the US kind of gets that too. So.
Anyway, I got these Dark Desire dice.
Designs. Oh, is it Desire?
It's Dark Desires. You can't see them, but we'll take a picture.
Actually, that's not too bad, but we will still throw up a photo.
Yep. They're very pretty. They've got like that see-through crinkly paper stuff.
I was going to say that's Mylar. That's
the word.
Are they sharp edge? Yeah, they're sharp edge Mylar. Yeah. Yep. Very cool.
Yeah.
So similar to a certain, Dispel dice. I don't need to beat around the bush.
Yep.
Very similar to Dispel dice.
Yep.
And they are actually really nice. They're well done.
Yep. Yeah, they're...
Because
the case is very good. It holds them very well.
Yeah. I've seen a handful of Dispel dice. I'll call them knockoffs, even though that's somewhat unfair. But a lot of them are done poorly. They have bubbles and stuff. Those ones look great.
Yeah, there's no bubbles or anything in them. Yeah. They're beautiful.
Very nice.
I'm very excited.
And they had I love my obsidian dice. The obsidian dice that Adrian got me from Wormwood.
Raised obsidian dice by Wormwood.
Amazing dice. I seen these obsidian ones, but they have an iridescent font style.
It honestly looks like a very thin layer of bismuth.
Yeah, and they drew my eye real quick, so I had to grab them. We'll take some pictures and we'll put them in the Discord.
We'll throw them up on screen probably.
So yeah, these were fancy dancy, and then we decided to buy Mr. Adrian a nice fancy set for him
because they're amazing, and I love them both, and they're bribing me. And although you won't see this on the podcast, I will do a quick recording of this. We'll do it afterwards.
Okay.
They light up when you roll, and I rolled a 20.
Nice.
Go figure. These are super cool, and they're actually really well done. I'm very impressed. They're crazy light.
Insanely light. Yeah.
Like and weirdly,
like light as in weight, not light as in bright.
Yeah.
Well, that too.
They're surprisingly light too. So weirdly, and I'm it's just an accelerometer of some sort. I don't know how they do it, but like I can shake it and nothing happens. But if I roll it, I'll try and get this on camera. If I roll it, it lights up. You probably can't see that.
It kind of reflects
a little
through
bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. We'll post a video here, but I'm really impressed because you would. Yeah. I fully expected it's like, oh, I'll just be like shaking it. No, it actually has to be rolled.
Yep. The lady that owns the shop was saying that they were like basically kind of like the second edition of those dice. The first ones you basically had to throw them at a wall to make them flash.
Yeah, no, they're very impressive, and I also like the way that they charge. And that the D20 has to be with the 20 up to charge, which
makes sense
for people who are superstitious and always have their dice stored with the 20 up.
I don't do that.
No, you don't do that because I've seen your dice bag, and there's no way you could do that.
Well, in
giant fucking dice bag.
Oh, it's over there. Damn it!
What you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even all my dice.
So yeah, that was.
Adventures in Kitchener.
What's their name though? I forget already.
Dragonheart Designs.
Dragonheart Designs.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you are local, check them out. They do have a website.
Yep. They have an online store as well.
Online ordering. I assume they will ship internationally. Yep. Although honestly, if you're in the US, you can probably get these things locally. So.
But can you get micro dice inside a pocket watch?
Probably in the US. Probably.
Don't dash my dreams.
Cool. So that's great. We always like cool new stuff, and we like it when it comes from places local as well. So even though all of these things came from China.
Well, I mean, we don't have to pay crazy Canada shipping too.
Correct. Yeah. Shall we talk about some games, or was there something else on the docket? I think games.
Yeah, we can talk about. Oh. Remember, there's 2 updates that I found. 2 gaming updates. Very important.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Are you still playing? No, go ahead.
Half-Life 2 has an update.
No, I want to just clarify that. You might have been about to say this, but it's got an update for the Steam Deck.
Yes, for the Steam Deck.
Specifically to improve the quality of life on the Steam Deck.
Yep.
Valve, you awesome.
Yeah, it's to fix UI scaling, but with the Steam Deck. But I was just like, what? Half-Life 2.
So I was looking into it actually, and it also had a major update in 2021.
Oh.
That like redid the UI.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently. Like they're actually actively maintaining Half-Life 2. So many other companies could take a lesson from Valve on like supporting your old stuff.
Yep.
Crazy. I mean, in fairness, Half-Life 2, I think, was one of the best-selling games of all time.
I think that's probably why they keep maintaining it.
It might have something to do with it.
And another update is Rock Band got more Muse music added to it.
What?
Yeah, which I'm both very surprised and not surprised at all. Here's why I'm not surprised at all. Rock Band's great, and I love Rock Band, and I would still play it today.
Yep.
So I'm not surprised that people are still playing it. I'm a little surprised that they're still adding new music, bothering with the licensing and everything else. But mostly I'm surprised that anyone anywhere still has functional instruments.
Right?
Oh, God, I know.
I'm assuming that somebody is still producing third-party instruments.
Probably.
Or something.
Well, I still have my Guitar Hero 3 guitar. Well, actually, one of our friends has it.
But does it work?
Yeah.
Oh, well then. I mean, they are...
still have it.
Oh no, we
Yeah,
just gave
we
him the
still have
game.
it.
Never
I
mind.
did take one of them apart at one point to repair it, and I will say that they are incredibly simple.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that surprising that they're still functional. But I also, once upon a time, you could hook up. So I had a Roland V drum kit. You know this.
Yep.
Which is like silent drums. They're electronic drums. And it was a decent quality set. And they sold, not Roland, but there was a MIDI adapter that you could plug your V drums into Rock Band. So we actually plugged in like the real drum set into Rock Band.
Oh my God.
And it's simultaneously really cool and terrible because like I have a full drum set now, but there's still only four and a kick.
Yeah.
So it's like, which ones do I assign to which? Because
Yeah.
so you just end up like duplicating things in weird ways, which is fine, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, the playing all these like Rock Band and Guitar Hero and stuff, being a guitar player myself, I always like, it was one of those little things where I know how certain songs are played on a guitar.
Yeah.
So the picking thing is fine. Like I can
Sure.
down pick pretty fast, and that's where a lot of my accessories were breaking is
Yeah.
on the actual
You were
the
rocking out
strumming,
too
the
hard.
strum bar, because I was always down picking everything. And then it got to a point where it's like, fuck, I can't do this. So I just
Yeah.
like alternate. Don't be an
That's-
idiot. You're not
that's the
actually
trick.
playing guitar.
I don't know if this is a funny story or not, but it's a story and I'm going to tell it. Years and years and years ago, when Rock Band was new, playing it at my girlfriend at the time's house, her dad was a guitar player and he comes down because he hears us playing music loudly and swearing constantly. And he's like, what the hell is going on? So he comes down and we tell him what it is and everything else. And so he picks up the guitar because he is a professional guitar player. He played for about 10 seconds and then said, this is fucking stupid, and walked out. It's like, yeah, you're not wrong.
And even like one of my drummer friend, Jim, he hated playing the drums in rock, like great drummer, but he said he hated playing the drums on Rock Band
Yeah.
because it was nothing like that.
No, well, and the drums suck too,
Yeah.
right? Like that's actually why we hooked up my kit, because I got the kit long after I played Rock Band. Like this was 5 or 6 years after Rock Band first came out.
Mhm.
So for me, I was like, I'm sort of used to the Rock Band drums. It's okay. It's not a problem. But my buddy Craig, who had always been a drummer, not a professional one, but he drummed for a long time. He was always like, oh, they're crap. And I can't do this music because I can't get the double hits and everything else. So we hooked up my Rolands, and then he was doing a great job.
Mhm.
Confused the hell out of me because I'm like, I have multiple pads that do this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. He did great. That was one where the skills actually translated. So that was cool. But yeah, definitely the pads were crap for the Rock Band drums. Really crap.
Yeah.
So
One that I never played was Rocksmith. And that was basically you plug a guitar in and you're basically playing it taught you how to play the song more or less.
yeah, I made Rocksmith for the PC at one point.
Did you?
After not original idea. After Rocksmith came out,
Mhm.
I decided, because I had just got an electric guitar not long before that. I've bought a lot of instruments over the years. I have not learned to play any of them. I wanted to do exactly that. So I wrote all the Fourier transforms and everything else. I wrote D3D plugins and everything to get all of the audio coming out of the line in on the computer.
Mhm.
And I actually built it out so it would tell you what chords you were playing and everything else, so that you could do chord progressions and everything else. And my goal was to like use it to teach myself how to play guitar.
Yeah.
And then I found out that I enjoyed the coding of it a lot more than the actual learning guitar. So that didn't go far. My buddy James has that guitar still. I gave it to him years ago. It was a nice guitar.
What kind of guitar was it?
It was an Ibanez, I want to say like a 700 something. It was a nice black body.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the tech specs on it because it's been so long and I barely understood them at the time. But it was in the like the 1200 I think range. So $1,200 guitar, 50, well, not that long, 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Decent. Not amazing, but decent.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're buying a guitar over $1,000.
It's a decent guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and because I went into the shop and I was a dumb kid with lots of money and they were showing me, they're like, you should get this, and it's like $100 guitar and like the cheap Stratocaster knockoffs and everything, and I'm like, yeah, but I mean, one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to learn to play it and want a better guitar. This monitor goes out from time to time. Just ignore it. Everything's fine. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to look at that later. Either I'm going to like it and love it and I want to keep playing it, or I'm going to not learn it and then like, whatever, fine, I'll resell it or whatever. And I did neither of those. I didn't learn it and gave it away. So thank you.
Yeah.
Long and McQuaid for trying to not get me ripped off, but
yeah. I think I've only ever given away one guitar, and I gave that to my niece.
Yeah.
But
well,
I still
you
own
kind of
6.
left that other one.
What other one?
The one down in London.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, okay. Well,
full of
technically
Coke.
I didn't give that one away. I just kind
No,
of
you left it
had
there.
the intention of going back. But
I see.
never went back
I see.
for reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. We've talked about development and music and basically everything but gaming so far.
Well,
today.
it stemmed from gaming.
I know.
Yes.
I'm being that guy. I want to talk about a couple of games.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
All
Let's
right.
do
Which
that.
ones?
Well, I'm going to save the best game I've ever found, which is that 95-cent one till the
Mhm.
end. For me personally, you guys can do whatever you want. I think we should start with the World Turtles.
World Turtle?
Just because it's so dumb.
Yeah, this was one that it's available now. There's a demo for it. You can find it in the PAX West 2022 section on Steam.
I was going to say this was released as part of like the PAX thing.
Yeah, but we'll put a link in the description for you as well. It's a city builder, base building, civilization style game, but your whole world is on a turtle floating in space.
Yeah. The classic sci-fi, everything is turtles. It's a flying turtle in space and you're on the back of it.
Yeah. Developed
Turtles
by
all the way down.
Yeah,
That's
developed by Recognition, published by Freedom Games. If I'm not mistaken, you said this was made by one individual?
Yeah. If you scroll further down the page, it has right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's made by a single guy in South America. Or not South America,
I was gonna
South
say,
Africa.
You told me
Jesus.
South Africa, yeah. The slightly different places. They're kind of shaped the same a little bit. Vaguely. Not really.
If you
One's
drunk
kind
and squint?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, Africa in general and South America are shaped a little bit the same.
Anyway.
Anyways. So I downloaded the demo
So did I.
while we were talking and played for, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
What I will say is it looks cool. The resource management is definitely, I think from what I saw, it's on the complex side. There's several different resources that you've got to handle, and also you're limited in space. Although I do believe that you can like duct tape turtles together in the full game or something. There was some amount of alluding to like neighboring turtles. But I don't think that's true in the demo. I think in the demo you're probably limited to the one.
Probably. That makes sense.
So limited landmass, you definitely have a bunch of resources, one of which is land to deal with. The big thing that I saw, because it looked a lot like a fairly standard Civ game, it's hex grid, if that matters to you. The tutorial, when you first open it up, is like mega sensory overload.
Yeah.
The person who is working on it, I'm guessing, is not a strong user interface person. And it basically brought up all of the tooltips in the entire game immediately upon starting this tutorial, which was very confusing and a little worrying. But once you clear them out and start actually playing it, it's better. I was playing on my MacBook. So one thing I will caution, the interface was very busy on a small screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is definitely a desktop friendly game. I also think that it's early access and there's probably a lot of refinement that can happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
But overall, it looks cool. I will definitely put some more time into it, and I'll probably post an update on Discord. Yeah, looked good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or in our Steam community.
Well, yeah, if I end up actually playing it, and
Okay.
one of us, I'm sure, will do a review of it
Yep.
on our curator group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Your turn. Any game you want to talk about?
There was a game I
Okay.
came across when I was scrolling through all the news. It's not coming out yet until next year. It's in 2023, so there's no demo or anything at this point. But it's called Bramble the Mountain King, and it is it's kind of cute looking so far. If you've played Unravel or Little Nightmares, I'm kind of getting those vibes from it. The description is it's a grim adventure set in a world inspired by dark Nordic fables.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, so the basic gist of it from the trailer is you're like a tiny person, like a borrower or something like that, traveling in a forest.
Okay.
That's where the Unravel feelings came from for me. And then there's a lot of like stereotypical German gnome type thing, like gnomes around
Okay.
with the red pointy hats that are
This
very
sounds
cute.
very weird. I like it.
Yeah, it's my type of game. It's a
Okay.
weird game. I like me some weird games. The graphics are, I wouldn't say they're like next gen. They're maybe like lower end next gen, but this might just
But they are new.
they're
Newish.
they're
Yeah.
newish. They just might be in these images just kind of unrefined at this point.
Probably.
So
But
yeah.
given that it's a year out, that wouldn't
Yes.
surprise me.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I am looking forward to that one.
Cool.
Mhm.
The other one that I'll mention that I actually got a chance to play, and then I'll shit on Moonbreaker a little bit. What was it called? It was called Chronisher, which is
Oh
which
yeah.
is, by the way, worst name ever because really hard to, like, if I just say Chronisher, how would anyone know how to spell that? I
I am
believe
trying to spell it right now.
I believe it's supposed to be Chrono and Escher. Drop the O on Chrono. That's how it's spelled. But I don't know why it would be Chrono because it's not time. There's nothing about time in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's like a little sort of puzzle solver, very, very sort of cutesy. It has sort of mobile graphics vibe. They're very nice graphics, but it has that sort of very voxel-y, actually kind of like Tunic. Graphics are in that neighborhood. And so the idea is like through different triggers and shifting your viewpoint, you have to find your way through what amounts to basically an Escher drawing.
Yeah.
So a staircase won't connect one way and then you flip your view and then it does connect. You said there was another game that you had played that it was similar to. Do you remember what that was?
No, I never played it, but it's actually going to be the one of the PS Plus selections for September called Tome.
Tome.
TOEM.
Gotcha.
I never played it. I just.
But it looked similar.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
very similar to this.
Cool.
Like
Yeah.
that whole Escher kind of aesthetic.
I played through about a dozen levels so far. It looks like it honestly looks like the sort of thing I would probably play on an iPad more than a computer.
Mhm.
Because now, in fairness, it may get much more complicated later on, and that might not be fair of me to say. But the levels that I've played so far, they're not that big.
Yeah.
Some of them are somewhat complex, like different, like you have to like set up different switches because this switch will raise these two blocks and this one will lower that one and another one. And you got to like key in the code basically.
Yeah.
But like UI wise, it's a very iPad-y sort of game.
Mhm.
It doesn't appear to be available for anything but the PC and Mac. So it's meant to be a PC game. And it's not bad. It's just, I could totally see myself playing that on an iPad, chilling out on the couch. So,
Yeah.
But good game. I'm liking it so far. I will definitely play some more of it. Definitely just like a time waster game, not something that I would sit and play for hours by any means.
Mhm.
At least not without, maybe while I was watching a movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, when you were playing it, I was hovering a little bit watching, and the change of I mentioned a couple times that the change of perspective in order to solve puzzles was very much like Fez.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad and I played that a number of years ago. It was
Yeah, that's
quite
a
fun.
really fun game. Yeah.
But definitely a cool game. It was cheap. I think it was like $5 or something. So for what it cost, it's very well put together. I didn't see any obvious. Well, actually, I did see a very obvious bug, but that seems to have gone away. The first time I tried to run it up on my MacBook, it just would not.
Yeah.
Spinner of death and just never went anywhere. But then today when I was going to show these two that it didn't work, it suddenly started working. So I don't know what to think. But now that I can play it, it's cool. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the only game I've really been playing lately is the new Saints Row.
Yep.
I'm enjoying it. I do have issues with, yeah, come on, say it.
I was going for eye
Yeah,
contact
come on.
with Sarah, but she wasn't looking.
Yeah.
I was thinking it.
Yeah.
Chad's going to be grumpy.
Well, it's more just because I feel like this game's a waste of time. They reached the pinnacle with Saints Row 4.
A waste of time for them to have developed.
Yeah. Because it doesn't feel like a step forward. It feels like several steps back. Which, again, if you're a fan of the Saints Row series, there's a lot here to like. And I am a fan of the series, and I do enjoy it. It's just, it doesn't...
Why does it feel like steps back?
Okay, so this... Saints Row number 1 was basically a GTA clone.
Mm-hmm.
With 2, they decided to kind of create their own identity and separate itself from a GTA clone. Still technically a GTA clone, but whatever. And they kind of
hang on. Is it a GTA clone or is it just an open worlder?
It's an open world.
Okay.
So with 2, they went for a more kind of quirky, humorous, open, like chaotic kind of vibe with the series. 3 was kind of like the culmination of the biggest parts of the whole criminal organization stuff. And then 4, you're basically the president of the world. And you...
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's like a power creep issue.
Yeah. And
gotcha.
like when they got the 4, you're basically in a simulation fighting aliens with superpowers.
Oh, okay, that's dumb.
So where do you... But
Says
they also
you.
back themselves into it. Yeah. They also back... It's really fun, actually. It's really, really
I believe
super
it.
fun. But they also back themselves into a corner where... What do you do after this? So what they did after that was they created a game called Agents of Mayhem, which sucked.
Gotcha.
Boo.
It was crap.
Gotcha.
So now they've gone back and rebooted Saints Row, and it's basically another take on Saints Row 2, more or less.
Okay. Well, you got to make money.
Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing because the Saints Row series does have its fun parts. Like
how long ago was Saints Row 2 released?
Ooh, let me look
Talking
this
like a
up.
decade?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
All right, then I think that's fine. Like there's actually something to be said for games that get re-released and after say 10 or 15 years.
2008.
Yeah, that's about right. Because like the thing is, it's one thing like Diablo, for instance, Diablo 2, we'll say, because Diablo. Diablo 2 is fine, and some people still play it. But Diablo 3 is better. And it's the same game. Like, realistically, it's the same game. But it's better.
Way better.
So much better. The pacing is better. The graphics are obviously better. The mechanics, the control, everything is better.
Yeah.
Because they have 15 years or however many years of research and gameplay understanding and psychology and everything else to make it better. So if it weren't for the fact that they had released a bunch of games in between, I feel like this would be one of those like, oh my God, Saints Row 2 was great and they re-released it and it's even better. So I get what you're saying, but also I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time with it. And
I do want to clarify, when I said, oh, that's dumb, I also played through The Stick of Truth, which we can all agree is dumb, but was a fantastic game.
Wonderful.
So yeah, when you put it in
dumb
that
does not mean bad.
Yes, when you put it in that context, yes, Saint Rose 4 is incredibly dumb.
Yeah.
It is so dumb. There is, well, granted it was also in Saints Row 3, but there is a dubstep gun. Yeah. There is a gun where you essentially shoot ping pong balls and they just bounce around and they kill people that way. Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
It's fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really been the only one on my... I did just pick up the Teenage...
Sorry, and what's it actually called? Saints Row?
Saints Row. Just Saints Row.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's being bracketed with 2022.
I was pretty sure that's what I had seen on Steam.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah. But I am looking forward to... I just bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection.
Yep.
Which released on Tuesday.
I did not buy it. I need to.
Yeah.
Because I want to play the original Ninja Turtle. Well, I don't know if it's the original, but the iconic NES game.
Yeah. Yeah. And the arcade game, both versions of the arcade game, the original one and the Turtles in Time one, online 4-player co-op.
Yeah. I saw just earlier the co-creator of the game for the NES game. The dam level, the like iconic dam level that's so impossible. They couldn't actually beat it either. Now, mind you, I did beat it as a kid. I beat it on several occasions, but it was one of those games that I guess the level was hard enough that they actually, several of the people creating the game couldn't actually beat it either. So,
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to boot that up and give it another shot and see how horrible it is as an adult, because it'll probably be just as bad.
I do remember it had a kick-ass music. Like the soundtrack for it was
a great game.
Kick-ass, man.
I loved that game. I'm sure I will hate it as an adult for some reason or another. But
yeah.
I fired up Commander Keen, the game that I was talking about a handful of episodes ago.
Yep.
And I'm not a kid anymore. Don't get me wrong, I can still play it. It's not a problem. But like as a kid, I would have picked that up and I would have been like, oh, sure. Just like Control, Shift, Alt, move over, fire, blast. Now I'm like, hang on, give me a second. Okay, I got this. But like as a kid, it would have just been like, yeah, there's no problem. What are you talking about? Give me a break. Get off my back. As an adult, it's get off my goddamn lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, no, that was the first game actually I've played in a long time that I felt old. I was like, oh, this control scheme is grody. And I remember playing that game for a long time, never having trouble. So,
yeah.
But I did play a little bit of that. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I will play some more.
Yeah.
Did you guys have other things, or should we end with my best game ever made?
Well, if anyone has, excuse me, Epic Store at all right now, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is free, and Submerged Hidden Depths is also free. Both games I am interested in, so I bring them up because of that.
You should get them.
And
I will.
Mafia is free on Steam right now, too,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, it is. Also, I personally, well, I'm sure Chad finds it exciting too. Yes, I keep cutting you off because I want to. The Xbox,
What a bitch.
right? We've discussed this already. I get it from my mom. Xbox Game Pass is trialing Friends and Family, like overall pass in Colombia and Ireland right now.
Are they actually calling it Friends and Family or just Family?
Friends and Family is everything that I've read about it is.
That's interesting.
Game Pass, Friends and Family. Yep.
Usually they just call it Family.
Well, we're going to have to move to Ireland now then. That way I can get a Game Pass.
Right, laddie.
That's right.
Let's go.
What about the school?
All right. Did you have more that you were going to interrupt me on? Or okay.
Nope. I'm done interrupting you.
Good. Now shut your face.
It's okay. I interrupt you guys lots.
Yeah.
What I was actually going to say was when you told me that Mafia was free on Steam, not for some reason, I legitimately thought that somebody had turned the old bulletin board Mafia game into like a text-driven game, and it was free. And so you guys didn't notice this at the time, but I legitimately searched for it thinking like, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. Saw that it wasn't that and just sort of like, never mind. I'm not going to tell them. I'll tell them later.
Adrian seen that it was 1930s, 1940s
right.
Grand Theft Auto and was instantly disappointed.
It was one of those things that I was like, oh my God, that was such a stupid thing for me to think. I'll tell them while we're podcasting. So now you can enjoy it too. I legitimately was like, oh my God, the old forum game. That's epic. Not even thinking about like, how would that even be a thing? It requires multiplayer. Anyways.
Adrian.
Best game ever made.
What is the best game ever made?
Do I remember the name of it?
Probably not.
I might have to get my laptop out. So this game, I just before we grabbed dinner, was it just before dinner or was it just after dinner?
Just before dinner.
It was just before dinner.
Yeah.
We're talking like 2 hours ago max. Okay, after some brief searching in Steam and relogging in because Steam is broken for me for some reason, it's called Morris Cave, and it was 95 cents Canadian. So again, if you have a nickel US, you're all good. And it's a platformer. It's like a heavily pixelated platformer. I'll probably throw up an image maybe. But if you go to the Steam page, you can see it. It's heavily pixelated platformer. And it's like super fast paced. You guys watched me play through just a couple of minutes of it. Very fast paced. Definitely like a combination of like pixel perfect jumper, platformer. I picked up a random fireball wand that I was killing fire with, which seemed a little weird. But only played about 2 minutes of it so far, and already I can tell you it's the best game ever made.
Yep.
So
very Atari-looking visuals.
Very, yeah. Like when I say heavily pixelated, like we're talking like there are probably a few hundred pixels on the screen. Like they are chunky pixels.
It looks hilarious on a large screen,
Looks
but in
so
the best
weird.
way.
Yeah,
but in the best
like I
way.
would totally pop it up on like the big TV and rock on. But it's just something about the speed of it made me so happy. Like it looks hard and it looks fast paced, which I'm kind of a sucker for. Yeah. It honestly reminds me of like classic Commodore games. Yeah. So if you're into that at all, it was literally released today.
Yep.
Hours before we went to record. So
and the 20% off, making it less than $1. The offer ends September 9th.
So
unless you want to pay $1.19 for this game.
Oh my God, the deal. The deal. Stupid cheap. Looks really cool. I'm going to be playing a whole bunch more of it because it's just right up my alley. And who doesn't want a game for $1?
Yeah, right?
Come on.
Especially when it brightens your day. Like,
I was so happy. Like a kid in a candy store.
Yep.
Just so happy.
Had jazz hands and everything. It's the greatest game of all time.
Yeah, that was a Josephine moment. So super stoked about that. Check it out, Morris Cave. If you are into old school games or you are into incredibly fast-paced platformers, check it out.
Oh, yeah. Now, we were talking about a couple streamers.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
This was some spicy news. Well, about a couple high-profile streamers.
Yeah, so I mean, you've probably, if you care about it, you've probably already heard about it. The Ninja and Pokimane stuff. So Ninja is stopping everything, from what I can tell. Like he just pieced out.
Yeah,
he quit the internet.
Like his Twitter page is user not found. Like the name tag is user not found, and he changed it to like timeout as the header, and he just said like, I'm out, I'll be back maybe eventually, I don't know where, don't know when, which is awesome. Good for him.
Yep.
And that's the right way to do it. There was no like leading up to it and like, oh, I'm gonna take a vacation and like feel sorry for me and everything else. It was like I'm gonna take a break. Done.
Yeah.
And then Pokimane. And listen, I respect what she's doing. I think it's a good choice for her, but the way she's going about it is if shit eating Grin was a person right now, it would be Pokimane.
Yeah.
Talking about how, everything with streaming feels like she's been there and done that, and just it needs to flex creativity and everything. It's like, that's great. Just do it.
Yeah.
Shut up and do it.
Yeah.
Like it's such a stark contrast to see two big names both stepping away from streaming in such tremendously different ways. Yeah. Ninja did it perfectly, just nailed it.
Yeah.
And then Pokimane, like, and you were saying that she's been drawing some backlash about it.
Yeah.
The way, not surprisingly.
Yeah.
Just I read it and I wanted to throw up in my mouth a little bit. It's like, that is the
No. Yeah. Way to set a few bridges on fire with that.
Well, and just make yourself seem so
above everything.
Yeah.
Just so shitty.
It's like you don't shit on something that helped get you to where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the people who are doing what you were like, anyone who's streaming on Twitch is a fucking idiot because I've already done that. Like, first of all, don't get me wrong. Like Pokimane, I saw some of her content. I was never really into most of the stuff. I haven't watched that much Twitch to begin with.
Yeah.
But like there were way more innovative people on Twitch than she was. Like there were people who did really crazy cool stuff on Twitch that she's never done anything like. So for her to say that in the first place is like, fuck you. Yeah. And then just like, who says that? You know what, guys? Don't worry about podcasting because we've been there and done that. Joe
Yep.
Rogan, fuck him. Like
Yeah.
we've done what he's done.
Yeah. And better.
Like I just it's very stark to see somebody who just like, I need a break, I'm out. And then somebody who's like, I'm going to like milk this for everything that it's worth and sound like an absolute asshat doing it.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting to see that happen. So synchronized, like it, because I think they were both like in the last few days.
Yeah.
Like that'd be like The Rock completely shitting on wrestling.
Right.
You know?
Anyone who's wrestling, I did it all. Like,
Yeah, like but that's like he would never do that because The Rock owes
he's not
basically
an
his
asshat.
entire fucking career to
Yes.
what he did in wrestling. Like,
yeah.
So
It was just such a weird way to go about that.
Yeah.
Just
bizarre.
shitting on everybody. So very strange. But
Yeah.
but kudos to Ninja though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
kudos to Ninja on an amazing career as a streamer and everything. But just like that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
So
need a break,
classy.
just I'm done. I need a break.
Yeah, super class.
Yep.
I mean, assuming he doesn't come back next week. If he comes back next week, I'll be like, "Hey, you idiot!" But super class so far.
yeah,
So-
take the time you need, man, and like I'm sure your community will be here to welcome you back
Oh,
whenever you decide to come back. So
People will like people will be clamoring
yeah,
Mhm.
when he returns.
yeah, it's like
'Cause,
the old saying, "You do you," right?
Yeah, no, I did great, really well done. I always love to see people who are actually taking a break from social media, not taking a feel sorry for me from social media.
Yes. Yeah.
So with that, I think that's probably good. We still have
Yeah.
to edit and upload this
Yeah.
sucker. So and I need to prepare for tomorrow.
Oh, I know.
I got a campaign to start tomorrow. Well,
Yeah.
you do too, actually.
Yeah.
Have you built your characters?
I have.
Are you done?
No.
I have to go back and change a couple things. But
Did you level up to 15 like I told? No.
I
Sorry,
think a lot of this I'm just gonna go on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going on the fly for
completely
pretty
rolling
much
with the
everything.
punches.
Yeah, I've got the first hour, the prologue planned. We're gonna RP a little bit through that, but
Yeah.
I've got that plan.
Yeah.
And then I'm turning it over to you guys. You're gonna build the world from there.
Ooh, Beautiful.
So
On that note, give this video a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We would so love it if you told 3 or 4 or 17 of your friends and their families.
go down to the bus stop, make some new friends,
Yes.
and tell them about us.
Yep.
And try not to get murdered.
Yep.
And join our Discord
Yep.
That too,
and our Steam community.
Yep.
if you're into it.
Yeah, if you wanna.
And hit the bell if you want.
Yeah.
But don't, because
Oh,
Yeah.
this week we don't want them to?
I mean, I never want them to. But if
Well,
they
you did last week.
But if they want to, I want them to.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to say this. You do you. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for coming.